What's going on, people? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. And as people get here, they'll get here. I don't want to hold you up. But I thank you guys for showing up. I know this is something new. And we're always a little hesitant to stuff that's new, but we're gonna spend the next hour, or actually half an hour, just tell you a little bit about me, Dae-Lee, and the purpose of Reflect Nation, my heart behind it, and also what I hope for it to be. And then we're also gonna open up for some questions where I want you guys to either comment on the page or via chat and just send me the questions you have about it, as artists, producers, DJ, whatever you are. And again, if you got video, make sure your video is on so we can see your face, and also so you can just ask your questions live. Cool. All right, so again, my name is Dae-Lee. I've been an artist and producer. Well, I started producing in 1999. So I've been producing for a minute, but I actually started writing as an artist and consistently in 2007. So since then, I've released about five projects. Some been mixtapes, a couple EPs, and actually last year, end of September, I released my debut album called Reflect, as you see right here. So, and that's really a part of what inspired what Reflect Nation is, and also hopefully what it will turn into. But again, as far as producing, I created a company called Jehovah Jireh Production. You can check that out, jj-production.com, if you want to know more about that. And again, just me personally, I'm more of a behind the scene type of person, to where I just love helping people and producing for them. So that was really my niche. And then as an artist, again, I've been privileged to produce and work with on music as an artist with, I guess the claim to fame has been The Truth, and be able to work on his couple of albums, The Faith and also Big Picture, which were nominated for Grammy. So that was definitely a blessing early in my career as a producer. And again, we continue to, I guess, blaze trails with that, and definitely work a lot with independent artists, as I'm an independent artist myself. And I know the hustle and the grind to get quality stuff on a budget. So, but again, I released my album Reflect in September, and that really inspired what Reflect Nation is, because as an artist and also as a producer, I saw the deficit or the need for, I guess, the older generation, or those who have more experience, actually pulling those who are not experienced and pulling them up and allowing them to watch and to learn and to actively invest in the younger generation. So really at the core, that's the heart of Reflect Nation. And I guess even deeper than that is not just anybody doing anything, but just people who have a heart to reflect who Christ is through what they do, whether that's producing, whether that's being an artist, or if you're a DJ or what have you. It's just whoever has a heart to reflect who Christ is. I'm building a community where we can, again, help one another, but also, push one another up to where, I may be great at producing. You may be a great artist. This is a place where we connect and also have like minds and like hearts, where we want to glorify God with what we do. So that's kind of at the base, that's the heart of what I want Reflect Nation to be. But some of the tools that we'll use to make that happen, if you've checked out the site, is the articles that I post. I post a lot of things about my experience and the lessons I've learned through producing, and also through being an artist and just working with different venues and things of that nature. Again, just to use my experience, whether it was good experience or a bad experience, to help those who are coming up and trying to learn. Because there's no need in you having to learn the same lesson as I had if we have a relationship. So that's a part of it. Really, a bigger part of it, which I think is going to be great, is what we're doing right now, our Q&A interviews. Of course, this one is about what Reflect Nation is for you. If you have questions about what it will be, what are the benefits and things of that nature, this Q&A is for that. But in the future, in the upcoming months, and you can look at the calendar on the website as well, we got a couple already scheduled. I'm going to be inviting artists, label representatives, DJs in the industry, and just different people who have worked in the field and environment that we want to be in, or that we are in, that can, again, they have a different perspective or different expertise that can help us out knowledge-wise. Because again, I think there's power in being able to know and having knowledge to where you're not going into things ignorant. So having them on to be able to interview them. Just as an example, in the upcoming months, we're going to have a young brother that I've known for 5 years who works for Reach Records. Within the Christian hip hop realm, Reach Records is doing a lot of great things. Lecrae was just on Fallon the other night. That's pretty big for our genre. Or we're hip hop artists who are Christians, however you want to look at it. So just to have him on, someone who's working in that environment, see how things go, I think will be a great experience for us who don't know about that and have ideas and can assume like maybe it happened like that, to where he can answer those questions. He can give us insight into those things. Also have a good friend of mine who used to be the head of marketing at Collision Records, another great indie label. As well as we're going to have some artists on, a longtime friend of mine, T-Wise from Philadelphia, just to have him on and talk about experience. He's been doing it for a good while. Actually, I think I started producing right around the time he released his first album, I think, who was T-Wise. So look him up, T-W-Y-S-E, T-Wise. But again, people like that, we're bringing them on, interviewing them so they can tell us about themselves, what they do. But the big piece that I think will be beneficial, not just to you, but to me, is just to be able to pick their brains and ask them questions so we can learn from what they do, their experience, and we won't have to float around having to learn on ourselves. Because again, this will only excel our growth and make us smarter. As if you want to look at it as the next generation of artists, producers, DJs, creatives within this field who want to give our all to Christ. So that's really one of the biggest two that I think will be special for Reflect Nation. So, but yeah, that in a nutshell, that's what I hope this to be. Of course, it will grow as we grow. And just like I'm telling you this, I have questions for you. You know, what do you think will be beneficial to you? Because I see this as a tool that I'm using, being that I've been putting music out for years. I've been producing for years. I really see it as something to where, okay, I need to start giving back in a way to, okay, how am I helping those who are coming, those who have not been where I've been? How am I helping them? So this is something I really see a lot of young artists, because again, the younger artists are the ones who paved the way for what's popular today, to where, the older artists of now are only relevant because they've connected and they made those relationships with younger, more innovative people. And I think we find value in that, because we're not islands. We're dependent on each other, and we need to be in relationship with each other. So I think Reflect Nation only helps that, to where, you know, the internet's brilliant, so I don't have to be right beside you to have a relationship with you and learn from you. And the same is for you, to where, you know, you can be in Japan for all I care, but we can build and we can learn about each other's culture, what we do, expertise, etc. So that's really the heart of Reflect Nation, and what I hope that it will be for not just me, but for you guys as well. So real quick, again, the format for these Q&A interviews will again be, there'll be a 4-hour time. 30 minutes will be spent with the interviewee. And then the remaining 30 minutes will be you guys asking questions. The upcoming sessions we got going on is about marketing as an indie artist. And then we also have a guy who just, I think, excels in having a plan and connecting the dots in his progression. So I think that'll be good, because a lot of times you may have good art, You may make good beats or write, monstrous songs, but connecting the dots to where, okay, that's one part of it. How do I market to the audience that I'm trying to reach? Or how do I get connected in the places that will help my message to get on certain platforms? So again, yeah, those are a couple of the topics that are coming up. For Man T-Wise, I think it'd just be good for him to express his experience as an indie artist for about 10 years now, and just his experience with getting gigs and booking gigs and things of that nature. But yeah, we'll let him spill all that though. So let's see here. I think I've already kind of talked about the benefits of joining and things of that nature. Now, I'd say something my mom taught me, and again, just to back up a little bit, I'm originally from Norfolk, Virginia, and I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina in 2001-ish to go to school. And something at that time I was producing and I was working with some artists, some friends of mine. And on my way to Charlotte, we were just talking about, I guess, my small headaches I was having working with them. It's like, I'm producing these tracks, I'm planning how we're going to do this timeline, whatever. But it seems like anytime I contact them, they're not making any progress with writing songs to these tracks I'm giving them. And she dropped a nugget on me that I remember to this day, and really it makes plenty of sense, and it's so valuable to where if people aren't willing to invest in themselves, they will devalue you investing in them. So basically, if they're not investing in themselves, don't invest in them. In the short, is what she was telling me. And again, that I guess I say that because yes, Reflect Nation is not free. It's not free. This Q&A is free, and we'll have them every once in a while for those who want to learn and want to ask questions about it. But these upcoming Q&As and also some of the articles about and just the tools that I post on the website will not be free. They'll just be for members. And the cost for that is $7 a month, or you can save, I think it's $14 if you go ahead and pay for the entire year up front. And again, I see that as a small investment in your growth, and this being a tool that you can use and the connections you will make. Because again, $7 a month is not going to fully cover what I'm doing, especially right now, and also the artists that will come on and things of that nature. But again, I believe it is a sign that you're serious about what you're trying to do and you're serious about growing. So I don't think it'll be a problem for those who are serious about it, but just to explain, because I can even get a little skeptical about people like, okay, you say you want to help me, but you ask me for money. But again, on the flip side, you got to understand, if you're not willing to invest in yourself, why would others invest in you? So that's just a little something that we're putting on the table. $7 a month. Of course, there's expenses to the website, to me spending my time connecting with these artists and those who I will interview, as well as just time period. So again, I hope that more than anything is beneficial to you. So that's just to cover that. But again, if you haven't checked out the site, I know some people who haven't, just got the invite on Google Plus. Please go to reflectnation.com, check it out, learn more about me, learn more about Reflect Nation, and just check that out. Check out also the articles right now are free to view. So please read those, comment on them. And to those who are members, it's so important that we comment and create dialogue about it, because that only helps me in learning what is needed and those and who I need to bring into interview and have these Q&As with. If we have more hip hop artists, let's just get some more hip hop artists in that can invest in the hip hop genre, or those who represent this genre. If there's more CCM artists in, okay, there's a need for that. Therefore, let's get some CCM artists or CCM representatives or radio DJs that can speak to their needs. So again, who you are greatly influence who Reflect Nation will be. So don't take for granted your comments. I definitely read them and reply to them. So please do that. Let's see. So really, I'm kind of done laying the floor for what Reflect Nation is. I really want to get into you guys' questions, as I think that'll really open up the dialogue. So if you're on right now, if you want to post your comment in a group chat, I don't see any videos up, but I see 4 viewers online. So I'm guessing no one has video on their computer right now. So if you want to type some questions in the group chat, I will respond to them, and we'll get this Q&A rolling. Cool. Let's see. Okay, and I see some questions right now. What's up, Julian? Let's see here. Says Julian. You just here trying to change your web settings. Okay, let's see here. And I see you, JL. What's up, man? Looks like everybody's dealing with some issues with their camera. Wow, I can't see you guys' faces. Let's figure this out. Looks like everybody's trying to be seen, though. All right, guys, let's see if we can get you guys' faces up here. I don't know what the deal is. Did you have a question, Julian? I see you typing over here, brother. Yeah, man. I see this other question. It looks like everybody's struggling with the camera, and honestly, Google knows all. Let me Google it right quick. This before we did it, and it seemed to be working. 1 second. Let's see. Donnell, what's good, brother? I'm trying to figure this camera thing out. Okay. All right, guys. I don't see your faces. But let's go ahead and move forward with the Q&A. Does anybody have any questions about you, JL? You're not a part of the Reflect Nation yet. I'm sure you got some questions. Fire away, brother. How about you, Julian? I think JL's still typing, or Donnell. I know we've talked already. You got any other questions for me? Make sure your camera's on, people. It's guest join. Okay, Julian. Well, his question is, what would you like to see become of Reflect Nation? I really want to see it become a community of artists and producers, DJs within the Christian realm, young, whether that's young in their time in doing it or just young in age, that have a hunger, but typically find themselves at a lack for people to pour into them. Again, I'm not acting like every artist has all the time in the world to, invest into every younger artist. That's because I know that's not the case, but I want those who feel like they don't fit in or don't fit into those groups because they're not to a certain place to find a community and Reflect Nation. And that's kind of me, myself. I've been doing this for 10 years and I see there's a lot of clicking going on. If you're with us, we work together type thing. And I understand why certain people do that. But at the same time, I think we ignore the fact that is given a big stay away hand to those who just want to, be there, watch, learn, you know what I mean? So I really wanted to be a place that's, again, available for whoever wants to learn, whoever wants to be a part of using what God has given them to reflect him to the culture. So that's the biggest thing I think I want to see it to be. Of course, as things grow, things may change, but ultimately I want that to remain the case. No matter who you are, how experienced you are, this is a place where you can learn, not just at your level, but there's people that have been there, done that, who want to invest and disciple, really is what it is, mentor, whatever you want to call it, into the people who are the next generation, who are the generation of now, really. So that's really what I want to see it become. So let's move to the next question. JL, my man, Justice League in the building, boy. I really like this, bro. Personally, being independent, doing things by myself, I need a lot of help. I can put records together, but that next step is what I'm lacking, especially without having a team. I feel you, Jay. And again, I think the beauty of working together is that you have people that are stronger in other places that you're not. I think there's nothing wrong with knowing a little bit of everything. And I think that's important. We need to at least acknowledge that these different aspects of what we're doing exist. But at the same time, God has gifted you to do what you do, to be you. And God has gifted this man who may be great in marketing to do marketing. He may have created this other young lady to be great at promotion. So Reflect Nation, again, is a place where hopefully we'll not just bring in artists, but once the artists are there and the producers are there, that it will attract those who are trying to be in promotions, those who are trying to learn marketing. And with those two people, say an artist and someone who's interested in promoting or being public relations for artists, this is where both of those people can learn and grow together. Because again, that's what all the, I guess now, popular labels have done. They've all started from a level. They found people who were motivated as they were and didn't think they were too good to work together, and they worked and they grew and built what they have. So again, Jay, I'm hoping, just like, you know, if you become part of Reflect Nation, that we'll grow such a reputation for, I guess, growing quality artists, that it will attract people who promote. And, you know, you may not know somebody, say, let's say you're lacking in someone to create artwork. There may be someone in Reflect Nation that can connect you with someone who creates great artwork, or maybe they do themselves. So again, relationships are much more important and much more valuable than the money you can throw at something. So again, Reflect Nation is all about relationships and investing in one another. So yeah, man, that's what I hope. Hopefully you'll be able to see that. Let's move to Donnell has a question. How long did it take for you to figure out your vision as an artist? I'm a novice without experience in the studio yet. It took, I'm trying to think, it took me maybe 4 years doing it until I really sat down and thought that, man, I'm doing a lot of work, but if I had a vision for what I'm doing, I could probably be more focused. And like my mission statement is, I'm a reflection, not a distraction. And that's where Reflect comes from. That's where Reflect Nation comes from. And it's all about, okay, at that time, and even right now, naturally, I'm more of an introvert. So early on when I started performing, it was a thing, man, if only I could rap on stage behind a curtain, as silly as that sounds, that would be great. But that really, it's really what Reflect is all about, to where, you know, it's not about you seeing me and me being a star of the show. It's about me reflecting Christ so brightly that all you see and all you remember is the message of Christ and him in the music, or what you do in my production. So once I came with that vision and that mission, it was so much easier for me to focus my efforts to where, okay, this is a cool idea, this is cool, but you know what, does that fall into who I am as an artist and the vision that God has given me? So I would encourage you, man, really pray about it, think about it. Okay, how am I talented? What are the gifts God has given me? And also, what tugs at my heart? What do I feel like, man, I would really like to be investing in this vein. And I feel like God wants me to do that. And a lot of times those things go together, to where you're talented as a producer. God gave you that. He wants you to use that. So yeah, man, that I would encourage you to, again, pray about that, think about that, and try to come up and formulate a vision or a mission statement for who you are as an artist, and where do you see yourself going. And again, once you have that idea of where you're going, then you can connect those dots in between. Hope that makes sense, brother. All right. Let's see here. So those are the questions. Unless you guys got some more questions, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out, and we can go from there. I'm gonna give you guys a minute if you got any other questions, and then we'll go from there. Mm-hmm. And again, even some of the stuff I'm saying right now, and I typically put in articles and I post to Reflect Nation, the whole thing of reflecting so brightly that they remember and really focus on Christ rather than you. I posted an article about that, a spoken word I did about prayer with the video. You can check that out and check out the article that followed that, which was about when reflect happens, to where there was a text message that a parent shared with me where his son was at the spoken word, and he was just talking about how this touched him, and his pops was asking, "Is that Dae-Lee?" And he's like, I don't even know who that is, but what he's saying is so where I am. So again, that as an artist, it's funny. People like, I want him to know that it's me, but it brings so much more fulfillment to me, knowing that, man, they got it. It connected with them rather than them remember my name. So that was so hilarious. So check that out. Again, check out all of the articles as I post them to hopefully shed some light on those things. Let's see. Got some other questions here. From JL, does this service include coaching or critiquing? JL, yes, it does. Actually, when you become a member, you get, again, I send you my cell number so we can text and have calls, because honestly, I'm here to help. If there's anything I know or been through that could help you or I have connections with, I want to help you. So I've already had those times with some of the guys already. So that's a part of it, to where, if you have questions, shoot them to me, email them to me, text them to me. And I'll definitely shoot you an answer back. Now I can promise that for myself. Of course, if it's more focused and detailed, and a lot of times we would just have to work that out. But I'm definitely here to answer any questions or help in any way I can. And as far as the other guys that come on for interviews and Q&As, I'm not sure about them. It would be great if they would be open to helping out, and who knows, maybe. But I can speak for Reflect Nation, myself, and I'm also looking to get some other people involved that have other strengths that could help in the same way that I'm trying to help you guys, but in different ways, if that makes sense. So to answer your question, JL. Julian has a question. If you could get anyone within this Christian hip hop realm for a Q&A, who and why? I think with anybody I bring on, again, I'm not thinking about myself. I'm thinking about you guys. And I think right now, and for the last few years, Reach Records has really been doing a lot of exciting things, and a lot of things that young artists have been, looking up to. And I would say, of course, being able to get Lecrae on and ask some questions and things of that nature will be great. There's outside of Christian hip hop, if you CCM artists, Jason of Building 429, friend with him, it would be great to get him on to talk about a different genre and how, because honestly, I think there's benefits in the different genres, to where it's Christian and hip hop heads. There's a lot of stuff that we're still growing in that CCM has been there, or different indie rock or what have you. They've already been there and they know that, to where they'll be able to help, I guess, our genre or the genre of Christian and hip hop continue to learn and to grow at a faster pace. So I really can't think of a specific artist, but just to throw something out there, I would say some of the Reach artists will be good to get on. Again, we're going to have my guy who's a designer at Reach Records on in the next few weeks. I'm sure he'll be able to shed some light on just the culture of that indie label that's doing crazy things right now, and just how they work, and that we can use as artists as we continue to develop. So that'd be my answer to that, brother. I got some texts coming in right now from people that want to join, but can't seem to log on. Hopefully we'll fix these kinks for next time. Let's see. We got 15 more minutes, but if you guys don't have any questions, I'll just close it out. So I'll give you another minute if you got any more questions, guys. And again, while you thinking of questions or typing right now, I think the best when it comes to getting artists involved in this and producers and just creatives involved with Reflect Nation, I'm really hesitant to making things public and just posting things wherever. Of course, I posted about this one because I wanted people to learn about it. But as far as getting others to join, it's really a thing to where I think word of mouth works best, to where if I'm a focused artist or producer, more than likely the circle I keep is full of those same type of people. And I think that just helps grow a strong core and a strong group of people. Because again, I want this to be a strong group of people that continue to learn and continue to grow. That I hope that, you know, people out of Reflect Nation spawn on to do great things far beyond I could do because of the strength of a community coming together and helping. So, all right, got a few more here, right here. JL, do you have any? Let's see. Not sure. Looks like a typo. You want to know about the upcoming guests? Yes, right now we have T-Wise, the artist from Philly, that's scheduled to come on. I think he's scheduled for February. Also have a man, Isaiah, who's a designer from Reach Records, just to talk about that culture and also just about he's a young dude that's, I mean, known him for 5 years. He always seems to have a plan and to be structured. And I think a lot of times as artists, we don't have that mind to where we're creative, but when it comes to plan, we lack that. So I think he'll be great to talk about being a planner and also in a great environment, which is Reach and doing great things. I also have planned trying to get a couple DJs on, one of them who DJs on the radio and another who actually DJs for Reach as well. We'll just be able to speak to, okay, what's good music, what you're looking to play, you know, and things of that nature will help us create music that will be accessible or palatable to DJs playing when they have gigs and things of that nature. But also we have a friend of mine, Eric, who did marketing at Collision Records. So he'll be able to speak to, again, what's marketable, you know, how things work in these environments. Collision, again, another awesome indie label who's doing great things right now. So artist-wise, again, to your question, right now we just have T-Wise lined up, but we will definitely be getting more artists on, because I'm sure if we're artists, we'll love to ask artists questions. So what artists would you like to see? Answer me that, JL. While you think about that and type me, I'll answer another question. Donnell, whenever I formulate my vision and try to give it a shot as a new recording artist, what ideas would you recommend? Should I have a track or two already put together? How does that work? Me personally, I'm a planner and then action. I think it just works better that way. Of course, different people work different ways, but I think even before you put any music together, you should just, again, pray and think about it. Okay, you know, what does your heart ache for? Do you want to reach young men? Do you want to reach, you know, whatever it is? Do you want to reach the homeless? Do you want to reach whatever it is? Who do you want to reach? Who's that core audience that you feel are tugging on your heart to reach? And in what way do you want to reach young men who don't have fathers? Do you want to reach suburban kid that, you know, has a lot but struggles with depression? Again, a lot of those, finding out what your pull or your heart's pull is will help you direct what you write. So it's good to nail down, okay, Lord, what is the longing you put in my heart? Or and a lot of times that'll fall in line with who you are. So I would ask, like for me, just example, a lot of my music comes from who I am in my history, to where, for example, let's see, the song Reflect on my album, check it out if you haven't, is all about realizing who God has created you to be. Because I mean, really up to this album, the 5 albums or mixtapes and EPs I released, I took them for granted. Why? Because certain conversations with people, and announced to them or unannounced to them, they didn't know, but I was internalizing their feedback as Dae-Lee, you weren't good enough. But Reflect, the album and also the song, check the song out, was all about, okay, yes, that's cool who they are, and that's who God created them to be. That's the level they're on and doing what they're doing. But okay, God, who have you created me to be? I want to be the best me you created me to be. And I want to use who I am to reflect who you are. So, so Donnell, again, I would think about that. Okay, who has God created you to be? What are your talents? What are your interests? What is your history? What have you learned? What is God teaching you? And all that will play into, okay. And maybe I'll do an article about this, how I came up with my vision and the thought that came into that will help you and also others. But that planning and that thought and writing it down helps so much, will help you so much when you get to actually making music, and making the music so simple once you figure that out. Because you won't have to think about, okay, this, that. No, you got focus. This is who I am. This is where God has me right now. Let me get this song out of the way. So that's what I would recommend, Donnell. But again, I'm going to write that down. I should definitely do an article about it, because I think that's important for those who are just starting out. Thanks for the question, though, man. All right. Julian Scott, he would love to see Social Club on the Q&A. They are Indian, have done very well. Yep, I agree with you, Julian. I don't know him very well. I've met him at Flavor Fest in Florida. If you don't know about that, Google it, Flavor Fest. That'll definitely be something you want to get to. Again, that's a gathering of Christian hip hop people from all over the nation. Actually, I need to have my man on, Urban D. He's an artist, but he also is the pastor of Crossover Church that puts on Flavor Fest every year, and they pretty much just bring together artists from all over the nation and really the world, and invest in them and really build them up. I've been, I think, 2-3 times now. But it is really good, again, to connect, make relationships, and also just to learn. So I really suggest you guys do that. Google it, Flavor Fest. Let's see. But yeah, Social Club is on the list. We'll see if we can make that happen, man. Let's see. From JL, what's your short and long-term goals for Reflect and you personally? For me personally, with every project I've made, is always a thing of, okay, God has given me something to say. We'll see if He give me something else. And that's really where I am right now with Reflect. I want to make more music, but really, we'll see what God gives me. If He doesn't give me anything else, I believe my lane is producing, and I really want to invest more time into that. Haven't really done that in the past couple years, but I really want to focus on producing and how I see it helping artists develop what they're trying to do musically. But other than that, really long term, I believe Reflect Nation is what I really want to pour a lot of my time into, which I see as discipleship of young people who want to invest in others via their music. So that's really what I hope to be able to invest in, and you guys are just the beginning. So as we grow, we'll see how God really expands that. I see Reflect Nation turn into an online thing, but just like Flavor Fest, it could be something to where on a yearly basis, everyone who's online, you know, in this state, that state, comes together and actually meets each other. And we have workshops and things of that nature. So who knows? Maybe it could be that. I believe it could be that. I want it to be that. So that's the way I see it, JL. And JL suggests Jay Blaze down in Miami is also good to bring on here. JL, hook it up if you know him, brother. I think I've spoken to him once, but I really don't know him. But I can definitely reach out to him. Appreciate that suggestion, man. Let's see here. Another suggestion from JL. I really like to see those background guys in the record labels. Label-wise, I like to see maybe Humble Beast. Cool, man. Yeah, I know I don't have any, who knows, I may have some relationship with someone there. But yeah, dude, hey. Yeah, my mantra for the last couple of weeks is you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So ask is what I'm going to do. If you guys have suggestions, I have no problem with reaching out and seeing what happens. So I'm going to take shots. And I suggest you guys do it too. Reflect Nation, I believe, is a shot. Take a shot, see where it goes. Again, it's not for everybody. But if you're looking for a place to be invested in and to connect with other people who are like-minded and create, I say give it a shot. You never know if you don't. So, all right, fellas. It's about that time to wrap it up. I appreciate you guys again. I think, you know, as always, I'm nervous. It's the first time doing it. Maybe no one shows up, but I appreciate you guys showing up. And I look forward to, I'm trying to schedule our first with an artist, or may possibly be a DJ, for a couple weeks from now. If not, our first will be the first week in February with my guy Isaiah from Reach Records. So again, check out the calendar on the website. It'll have all the interviews lined up. And again, those will be exclusive to you members, as I want to make sure those who are willing to invest in themselves can be invested in. So so you guys can ask as many questions with the time that we have with those guys and girls. So, and again, you have my email, you have my text if you're already a member. If you're not a member, I'm hoping that you like what we're talking about and you want to join. And then you'll be able to email and text me whatever your suggestions are as far as artists. But again, thank you guys for coming. And I want to close out in prayer right quick, because I believe God is in this, and God is the one who's going to make it what it's going to be. Without him, we can't do nothing. So real quick, dear Lord, thank you for this time with those who join me online for this Q&A interview to learn more about Reflect Nation. I thank you for the heart and even what you've taken me through to develop this idea. Nothing is by accident. I pray for the young artists, those who are trying to learn. I pray that they wouldn't be discouraged, but that they would find Reflect Nation as a place where they can learn and be on an even playing ground with whoever may be on interviewing, and that the interviewers would invest in them and see them as people worth investing in. I definitely see them as that. And I pray, Lord, that you would use this to just grow the people you would have us to be, and that we may reflect who you are to our circles of influence. I pray all this, Lord, in Jesus' name, amen. Thank you, guys. And until next time, again, if you're not a member, check it out, reflectnation.com. And the join button is right there. You can join tonight. If you have any questions, feel free to Facebook me. But until next time, check out the articles. Members, peace out. Reflect Nation. Talk to you later.